Welcome to Playfully Orange, our conversations on Thursdays about arts and culture here in Central Florida. My guest today is Chase Padgett, who's actually not here right now, but a well-known fixture in Central Florida. Welcome, Chase.
Hey, thank you for having me, Terry. I appreciate it.
So you're on a big Canadian tour right now, is that right?
That is right. I just landed in Edmonton, Alberta. Yesterday, I'm going to be doing the Alberta Fringe. I'm sorry, the Edmonton Fringe for the next 2 weeks, and then doing six guitars here again on a sort of self-produced run, and then Vancouver, and then I'll be back home to Central Florida after that.
Well, Chase, let's find out a little bit about you. Where did you grow up and how did you become this touring musical theatrical person?
Yeah, I was born in Winter Haven, actually, right down the road there in Central Florida. But I actually spent most of my childhood in Naples, Florida, on the southwest coast. And I spent 5 to 18, 20, that age until I relocated to Orlando to go to UCF.
And did you always know that you were going to be a traveling musician?
I always had an aptitude for performing and for music. And I always kind of knew whatever I was going to do would kind of look like this in some shape or form, but I did not know it would look exactly like this. I'll tell you that much. Yeah.
And you went to UCF?
That's right. I got a Bachelor of Arts in Music, graduated in 2007. But that's really only, I'd say, a third of my sort of performing background education, because at the same time, I was also taking classes at the SAC Comedy Lab, and then I became an ensemble member there in 2007. And I was also working at the theme parks doing various, actor roles that involved like a lot of crowd work sometimes. And it was a real intense and important education I had from about 2004 to 2009. All I did was either go to college or do improv at SAC or work at the theme parks. And it really gave me a beautiful foundation for entertaining people outside of Orlando.
And Orlando's kind of a unique place for you to get that kind of level of experience and training.
Oh, yeah. I actually just was explaining this to a reporter for the Toronto Star. We got a big article in the paper about six guitars there last week. And it really, as I was talking about it, I was like, wow, that is really a unique environment, because not a lot of places allow you to be an actor for a day job. And you really, really learn what it takes to entertain a group of people when you do it 5 times a day, 5 days a week or more.
Right. You mentioned six guitars. For those who don't know, tell us what that is.
Six Guitars is a one-man show that I developed back in 2010 with my buddy Jay Hopkins. And it is a combination of music, comedy, and character-based storytelling. So I play 6 different characters, and each one plays a different genre of music through guitar: blues, jazz, rock, classical, folk, and country. And each character shares the stories and the songs that define their relationship to music and what they've learned sort of playing through music. It's got a bit of improv. It's funny. It's moving. It's got some great tunes, and it continues to grow to this day. I think I just did performance 689, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, this last Sunday.
So that was developed here in Central Florida, but you've taken it all over the continent.
Yeah, I've done it all over. However, it's going to be coming back to Central Florida this January. I'm going to be doing it for a month at a theater that rhymes with the Blenaissance. And it's going to be a really great return to Central Florida, because I'm going to bring a version of the show that Florida has never seen. It's going to have a bass player and a drummer and some new bits and bobbles to the show that I'm really excited to share.
Great. And you have spent some time not just on tour, but actually living in the West Coast.
Oh, yeah. I've lived in Portland, and then I sort of de facto lived in Edmonton for a year. And then through the bulk of the pandemic, I lived in Vancouver, British Columbia. which is, I mean, such a beautiful. I loved Vancouver so much, though just relocated back to Orlando to spend time with my Central Florida roots.
What is one thing from one of those other cities that you wish we had here?
Ooh, great question. I would say arts funding. It's actually kind of funny, but it's true. The Edmonton art scene is pretty well funded on a municipal and provincial level because in Florida, we all know the Bright Future Scholarship. A lot of the Florida Lottery pays for education. I just found this out recently. The lottery in Alberta pays for arts funding. And there's a lot of oil money here, and a lot of the oil taxes actually also go to arts funding. I mean, this town, I don't know, might be a half or a third the metro size of Central Florida, Orlando area, but it's just got so many spaces to choose from. If you want to produce something, if you want to do something that's, 50 seats, 500 seats, and anything that's in between and higher, there are plenty of options around here in a really wonderful way.
So if in Orlando you had a big chunk of money available, whatever you'd like, what would you do?
Oh, I would love for there to be a venue in Central Florida that was right around 400 to 500 seats, maybe even 600. Because that size of theater allows intimate performances to still translate whilst really becoming a different equation for financial viability. The video that I have for Six Guitars from years ago was from a 500 seat venue in Edmonton. I'm getting it filmed again in Edmonton with the band element because it's a different kind of thing. And I'm in another 500 seat venue and it's a different one. There's no 500 seat venue that is rentable and viable economically in Central Florida. So if I had a ton of money, I would wave my magic money wand and make that happen.
Okay. No, we've got 300 and smaller, and we've got 1,400 and larger.
Exactly. But there's nothing that's like that size. Yeah.
Some of the schools maybe have a school theater that's somewhere around that size.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But anyway, all right. And so you're coming back and doing a show in January. What other are your long-term plans here?
Well, Six Guitars has really taken a big artistic leap in the last month. I mean, literally, I've done it nearly 700 times, and the last dozen have been a completely different beast because I've added a drummer and a bass player, which sonically is a completely different experience. And I'm learning a lot more about sort of being a self-produced artist outside of a fringe festival environment. And I really think the show is kind of a perfect fit for that equation, for 2 to 4 week runs in venues that range from probably no less than 250, 280 in terms of capacity up through maybe 600-ish. Because, I really think that my Six Guitars show is uniquely suited for that size, that production scale. And there's not a lot that I think really excels at that level of capacity.
Sounds like you're going to be doing more touring.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully I will do as much touring as I want to do rather than as much touring as I need to do.
Yes, there's a big difference between those two.
Yeah, it's a lot. Money is the difference, frankly. Yeah.
Well, it is great to talk to you, Chase. We can't wait to have you back here, and we're delighted that you're a homeboy, that you're from Central Florida here. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you for talking to me, Terry. It's so good to see you.
Yep. And thanks, everyone, for watching this issue of Playfully Orange. On Tuesdays, I also do Diverse Orange, talking about diversity in Central Florida. See you, everyone.